Hello everyone, welcome back to Rebel Brick. We're doing our Star Wars role-playing game as I queue up for our episode 4, New Dawn. So, alright, let's get our game going here. Alright, after being released from prison, our group have been assigned to a ship to help fight off pirates that have been formed from the Viper Force. With their apparent leadership having been destroyed, smaller factions are trying to rebuild and join strike forces that have been created, strike forces have been created to help patrol between the New Republic space and Imperial space. With the New Republic short on pilots and resources on the Empire looking to maintain safe passage, is a commerce ship, or for its commerce ships. This force seems to be a great starting point to help both factions. Our group joins the crew of the ISS Flag, a second-generation Gonzali light Imperial cruiser, which is what this one is. I know I do have a Lego one. Actually, it's right above me, but because we're going to be dealing with other ships, this is what I'm going to use for today at least. This is a new version of the old Gonzani, built with internal hangars as well as 2 external docks. So, if you remember this one from Rebels, we're using the same model. The difference here is we actually have an extra turret in the front as well as hangars on both sides here. So, really I just took the regular Gonzani cruiser, adding the extra hangars. We have 2 TIE fighters, and then we have 2 A-Wings, because this is a joint operation here. This is how we're working it. So, we have our, from before, we have our main characters. We have Marsha here. And we have, I want to say it's mumbled, but there again, I'm, trying to make sure I'm saying his name correctly. Alright, Mandrell. Alright. Been a busy week. Okay. Trying to make sure I'm staying on track here, reading the right stuff and not grabbing older stuff. Alright. So it looks like from here, I could swear I wrote up just a little extra, but yeah, I did. Okay. No, that's episode 1. I think I could probably get rid of some of those in some regards. Alright. So we do have a bigger crew this time. We have a captain. We have a captain, which is actually an Imperial commander, Gray. We have a medic, Dr. Bell. We have 2 Imperial pilots, Lieutenant Detail and Lieutenant Falcone. We have an engineer, which is Lieutenant Volker. And an engineer droid, which is Oil Pan. Oops. Yeah, these aren't those other 2 pilots. They're Imperial, but they're pilots for here. We have four fighters. So on the TIE pilots, we have Lieutenant Hunt, Lieutenant Jensen, and then for the A-Wings, we have Lieutenant Commander Hook. And then Lieutenant Krill. And then we also have one of the turret gunners outside of our 2 characters, which is Ensign Front. So that's our cast. I will be fleshing out their characters as we move along. I was kind of trying to figure out exactly how best to do this as we get started here. I'm going to grab some different dice because I think my dice are cursed. I don't know what's going on. Either that or my characters are cursed. So let's try the dice first. Let's see here. I got a dice cup right here. And of course it's got Legos and everything else in here. So when I say a dice cup with Legos, I do have 2 Lego figures, and we have dice all over. So I've got metal dice, I've got regular standard, these would be standard D&D dice, and then some more standard D&D dice, and I picked these up from my wife quite a few years ago. Hoping she would get into doing D&D, but she never really did. My youngest daughter, I'll use those sometimes when she's playing. So these are metal dice, so these are definitely going to make some bigger thuds as we are rolling them. I'm going to pull out all the 6-sided. And these have some weight to them. So here, let's listen to them roll. There's a little bit more thud to them. I'm hoping we don't need any more than 6. Otherwise, I do have plenty of more dice that we can work with. All right. The dice were the only things I didn't grab, and when I say I have plenty of dice, because we've been doing this for quite a while, I do truly mean I have plenty of dice. So I think we got enough dice. We should be able to manage today. All right. So we're going to start off. Of course, you know, you get into a new ship, we'll meet our commander. I'm not going to animate this for us today. We're just going to kind of talk through this, roll our dice a little bit, and we'll get going into this. So, we'll have our characters meet our commander. Trying to get rid of the extra paperwork I don't really need here. All right. So we go to our captain, Captain Gray. We introduce ourselves. I'm going to use a knowledge. Trying to make sure I introduce myself as well as I can. Actually, I have a streetwise, so I will use 3 dice. So on this roll, my silver die will be my wild die, and I fail. So I fumble that up. I think it's my characters that are cursed. I don't know if we may have to make new characters along the way. All right, well, we'll keep it going. So I introduce myself. I fumble horribly. The commanders, or our captain, looks at us and says, you know, as representatives of the New Republic and being kind of thrust upon me by the Jedi Council, I kind of thought I would have someone a little bit better than you, but apparently this is the best that the New Republic can actually do. I guess we're going to be in for a long trip. Please stow your gear, find your bunks. We're going to be taking off shortly. We're waiting for the rest of our convoy to kind of get established here, and then we're going to lead everybody out. So that's really what we're doing. We're doing convoy missions. This would be very reminiscent of what the United States was doing for supply ships going over to England during World War II. So trying to keep pirates and everything else. Actually, it's very reminiscent of what's going on today. We have a lot of pirates coming out of some of the poorer countries as they're trying to figure out how to get money to pay for food and all that stuff. I'm hoping that that's what it really comes down to. But unfortunately, quite often in these situations, the people that have the boats and the guns and they can afford all this stuff, they're not worrying about just feeding themselves. They're trying to build up kingdoms, and that's quite often what happens with pirates. Anyways, they don't just content themselves with just trying to get a little bit of food on their table. They're trying to make themselves their own little king. Alright, so we are going to park ourselves in front and behind, in front of another Gonzani. I believe that's IROC, and then we have a Gallifrey freighter. These are unarmed. These are actually big pirate bait here. Of course, as you can tell, this one's a little bit out of scale compared to this one. This cockpit right here should be at least about as big as this. So this is a lot bigger ship. So, alright, so as we get our group together, we're going to start taking off. Our captain is going to communicate with the other ships and say we will have we're going to make our first jump, and then we will stop, make sure everybody's there, and then we will plot our next course, make sure everyone is ready before we move on. Most of the time when we think about Star Wars and how they do their navigation, normally everybody just kind of jumps, and then they just it'll do course corrections along the way. So that's the tricky part here. It's not like you're always just going in one direction. Excuse me, or one straight line. Quite often you'll kind of do a course correction mid jump or whatever, and it'll just keep going. Here, because we're doing a convoy, we're going to do one jump at a time, trying to make sure we don't lose anyone, make sure everyone's there. That's the way we're going to do this. So as we take off and we go, I'm going to roll for our crew. And it says, dun, da, 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 it does not have piloting for our crew here. I thought it did, but apparently I was wrong. So, all right. I got everything for our enemy and all that. But what I don't seem to be finding, unfortunately, is our alright. We're gonna give them a standard of 4 dice. So we're gonna roll 4 dice to get going here. Actually, we're gonna have 2 people, so I'm gonna roll one of the copper dice, because this is actually, that's not silver. That's actually just kind of a like a gunmetal or whatever. But anyways, it looks silver and gold. I'm going to roll one of the copper dice one more time. Alright, so we got 2, 7, 8, 9, 10. With the co-pilot helping out, I would add an extra die. But seeing that we made our 10, we're just going to go with it right there. We make our jump. We'll make sure that everybody made it. On a roll of 1 on either one of these, then we are going to say that they do not appear. Alright, they're both there. Trying to keep this random because, this is how adventures go. We just don't know. Alright, so as we move along, we make our first waypoint, and we got about 3 more waypoints to go. So we're going to roll again for our astrogation to make sure that we can navigate to our next point here. And that is our wild die. So just those 2 alone is our 10. Then we make 12. And I still have 1 more die I can roll because we're being assisted by our co-pilot here. Again, we will roll, and we will roll for each ship. Same outcome here. Uh-oh, we get a 1. We lost this guy. So now we have to figure out what's going on. This is where our adventure begins. So now that we have lost one ship, we start doing a call out. As we start calling out, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. I do have one character sheet. That's our repair droid. Like I said, I have all this stuff written down so that way we can see this stuff. And this is our repair droid. This is our oil pan. I still have, like I said, I have not done our other characters. Oil pan's not going to be able to help us on this. Well, they might be able to. Let's see. We're going to do technical to try and reach out to them. Technical is 4D from oil pan, so let's get oil pan on this to try and help us do some technical to try and locate our lost ship. All right. It's just going to be a straight 4D. Actually, we do have a search of 5D. Why don't we do search? Actually, no. The search would be us physically looking. So on this one, I think we'll just leave it as the 4D. So we have 5. We have 9. We kind of find a blip, but it's not very strong, and we're going to make a call at it. So with that being said, we're going to we'll have it that we have to rely on our astrogation to get us there a little bit better. Instead of trying to roll for a 10, we're going to try and roll for a 15. So we're actually going to have probably need all 5 dice this time. Oh boy, what do we got? There's a 5, and there's another 7. So that takes us up to 12. So we need a 3 or higher. 6. Okay, so we make it. All right. So we take the whole group back over to where our IROC is, and they are under attack, most naturally, I suppose. And we're going to use these two guys. These are actually, these are considered light hut fighters. And these are X-Wing, Star Wars X-Wing miniatures. So if you're wondering where I got these from, that's where these are. All right. So it's under attack by 2 light fighters. We're going to use the light fighter template that we had before. Okay. Now I don't get, or I'm not actually flying these, because I'm a gunner in here. So this is where things kind of get a little bit more chaotic. So we're going to start launching our fighters from our hangars. And our fighters are 2 A-Wings. Uh-oh. I grabbed the... I grabbed what? No. I knew I grabbed 2 A-Wings. I'm looking at it, and I have 2 different fighters down here. It's like, I thought I grabbed 2 A-Wings. And then these are our TIE fighters. These are actually TIE Defenders, I believe, because they have the little turret in the back. So you actually have a crew of 2 people. In reality, these are single pilot fighters. I just wanted them to clamshell, kind of like from the Rebels with the Inquisitors, TIE fighters. So, because I figured that would fit in our smaller hangars a lot easier. That's also why I chose the A-Wings. So we have our fighters going out there. And then we're going to jump in our turrets, and we're going to start shooting out. Now, This freighter does not have cannons. Actually, I think it might have one on the bottom, but we're going to say he's essentially got no cannons. And of course, this is unarmed. That's why we have us here as the help. Alright, so we're going to jump into our positions. We're going to use our starfighter gunnery. So I've got 5D for myself. Seeing that they're going after them, I'm going to say I'm going to need a 15 or better because they're going to be at a longer range in order to hit. So our wild die is a 6. There's 11, 13. Haha, we definitely hit, and I can keep rolling if I needed to. Alright. Now, our damage is going to be... behind the scenes here, I have a bunch of papers, and I'm trying to keep them all straight. Okay. Put that over the mouse here. So I'll move the mouse, because I don't really need the mouse. Alright. Salt. My bunnies are chasing each other. Alright. So, dorsal laser turret. We have 2 of them. We're doing 5D for damage. So we're going to say that this is 1, this is 2. I'm shooting at 1. Okay, so 11, 12, 14, and I get a pencil with some... I don't know why I've been having problems with pencils, and this is just a silly point here. I've got pencil sharpeners, but every time I use the pencil sharpeners, I keep breaking the lead. Now, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But I'm obviously doing something wrong. Alright, so we got 1, and then we got 2. Now we're using the same holes that we had from before, so just makes it nice and easy. Alright, so I did 14, so 1 is down to 10. Alright, and then we have Mandrell. And he is a 4D for starfighter gunnery, which is what our turrets fall under. Okay, 10, 11. So he misses. Just like me, he needs a 15. Alright, now our starfighters start getting out there. We have 2 laser cannons in the nose, and they have a gunnery of 5D. And they miss. And I think he misses too, because he's going to have to get a 15. There's an 11. So 13 foot. No, okay. We just make it. Alright. So he makes it. He's going to do 5D for damage. Of course, they're aiming on number 1 because that's the one I was aiming on, and that's the closest one. And it looks like, boy, he hit him right smack on in the nose. Seeing that we got 12 there, 17, 19 points of damage. He only had 10 left. So number 1 is gone. Alright. So he's going to strafe across him. We'll have him do a little bit of damage here. Actually, why don't I roll for that? I don't have stats for that one. I know it's got... Let's see. 2D. Actually, I'll give him the same that I have, pretty much. Just for making it quick and easy. Alright. Here. He's going to get 4D to hit 10. 5. He got a 9. Just misses. Alright. No damage. Nothing to worry about. Our fighters keep going out. They chase them down. So we start our next round. So we now have 4 fighters shooting. We're going to go through all 4 fighters. We're going to hit our TIE fighters first. And seeing that they have a gunnery of 5D, and now they're in range for hitting with a 10. Of course, he would have hit otherwise. He does 5 damage. 6. Here's 10 damage. 11. Alright, we're 17. 19 damage. Okay, well that TIE pilot, wow, he smacked him good. He's only got 5 left. Alright, our second TIE pilot. Okay, so we have a fumble here. So he's only got 4, so he just misses. Even if I was to roll another die, I don't think he's going to make it. Then we have our A-Wings. And looking at our A-Wings here. Okay. Alright. A-Wing pilot has a starship gunnery of 4D plus 2. So, alright. 7. There's a 10. And then plus 2, that's 12, so he hits. And his weapons are doing 5D damage. Alright. And it looks like he smacked him pretty good, finishes him off. Alright. So with that being said, combat is over. They've taken out the enemy. We send out word of what's all going on in that. Okay, so they were blocked by a a meteor or so. Kind of a little pirate tactic. They'll throw something big into someone's path, so when they start coming through, it pulls them out of hyperdrive early. So that's where he's at. Take a little bit of time, make sure everything's good. He needs a tech over, so we will have to dock this, which then means we're going to have our piloting. I think I'll give them the same as the TIE pilots, as I seem to be a little stuffy here this morning. I don't know why. Alright, so we get 6 dice here, and I need a good solid 10 to dock real nice, which is what we have so far. Obviously we have 5, there's 9. Okay, so we have 13. So we dock to the Kazani. We'll transfer our crew member oil pan. We'll get him in there. We'll get things going. Oil pan comes back. We start getting going again. I'll get this rolling. Okay. So there's our 6. There's our 9. I got an 11. He's got a 3. Let me move these out of the way so I don't smush him. He's got a 2. Makes it without a problem. Okay, so only 2 more jumps to go. Everybody's there. Everyone's doing good. Alright, so we got a 15 here. 1 more jump to go. We're good. Hopefully everything works out good. He's got a 6. We get a 1 again. So apparently this ship is just our problem child. Alright, so now we got to go through the same process again. Let's try and do our search, we'll use oil pan here. Technical is a 4. And we definitely got a good 10, 12. So we kind of, again, we'll get a faint signal here. Not the best. Okay. And that's definitely our 15, like what we were asking for before. So again, we drag everybody back. This time, what do we find? This time they're actually having engine problems. This one's just completely legitimate from being shot at from the fighters and that. Now they're having engine problems, and it just kind of pulled them out of hyperspace. So we'll have to send over our droid, only because our droid's the only one that really has a good stat base that I can use. We're going to do space transport repair. I'm going to say we're going to need a 20 to get them going here, because we probably don't have all the choice parts we really need. Okay. So we got 4, 8, and we can take our time at this. We can try this a couple times. Alright. There's 10, 11. I still have 2 more dice, which I don't think we're going to make it with. 11, 12. So we're up to 16. Not quite there. So we'll take our time. Alright, rolling again. Now this time we have a 15 to start with. Up to a 17. We needed a 20. Alright. So I got a 1 and I got a 6. So that puts us over. Remember, this one was our wild die. That's why I'm rolling these 2 separately so I don't mix the 2. Actually, I suppose what I should do is, because that's a little bit different, make that one our wild die or something. But either way. So now we got it fixed. Not with the correct parts, but it should work. So we'll hold that over. We'll get our crewmen back. And move those dice out of the way. Now we're going to try this all over again. Okay. So there's a 10. We got a 17. So we definitely took off and went where we needed to go. They're good. Please no ones. Oh, it can't be a 1 because I see the 1 looking at me. Alright. And they got a 3. So one last jump and then we're to our final destination here. Okay. So I got 2 6s. 6 on our wild die. Plus we have another 5. There's a 17. I could keep rolling if I needed to. I don't really need to, so we'll just leave it that way. We got a 3. And we got, oh, sugars, another 1. Okay. So once again, we've lost our trouble child here. This one is just being the dickens to us. Alright, so again, we will do our same thing we've been doing before. Oh, shoot. Well, I lose my 1 and I lose my 6, but I do have a 10 here. So 10 is what I'm looking for to try and get a blip on him. Not very good. Could have looked a lot better. Alright, so we'll do our astrogation. So we have a 10. That is a 3. We got a 17. So we make it back to them. This time, thinking about this. Alright. This time we have 4 fighters. I got 2 droid starfighters and then 2 of our other ones. They're all going to use the same stats just to make it nice and easy. Let's see, we're going to do T for tan, and the other one is gray. So, all right. So now we kick out our fighters. We're under attack. We're gonna start shooting. Let's see. I have, looking at myself as we launch our fighters. I know I'm putting them all off to one side. That's technically not how they would actually come out, but this is a game. We're just doing this for fun and excitement. So here we are. Alright, so we launched them out. So we'll start shooting. I do have a gunnery 5D, and Mangel's 40. Alright. Mangel, we'll have him first. This is going to be 2. We're going to start shooting at 2 because he's closer to us. Mangel hits. Look at that. He got 19, and he could even roll that wild die even a little bit more if he needed to. Alright, so we have what, 5D for damage. As I have paperwork on top here, 5D for damage. Oops, get back here. Alright. So, going against number 2 here, there's 10. We got 16. Alright, we got a 19. Alright, so 2. 19 from our 24, so that gets us 5 points left. I'm going to shoot at the same one because, you know, why not? Whoops, take that one out. Okay. So we got 8, 10, 14. I didn't see if I needed a 15 or whatever. I'm just going to say it's a 10, so we hit. And then I'll roll this one. Alright. So, yeah, I most definitely tagged him. I took him out. I did quite a bit of damage. He's gone. So we have 1 there. We do have a nose or another cannon towards the front, so we're going to use that one. That one's going to need a 15 because they're going way over. I guess I'm going to have to make this one my wild die. Alright, so we got 5, 10, 15, 21. That one hit. And then we're going to do 5D for damage. And going to number 2, that's our wild die. Those 2 are gone. So we only kind of clipped them a little bit. We got 6 damage total. So let's see, that takes us to 18. Alright. Now we'll finally get our fighters to go at it. They're going to shoot at the fighters. Let's see here. I'm going to grab a D4. I know this is all a D6 system. Let's see, and I have 4 fighters here. And I have the dice available. So we're just simply doing a 1, 2, 3, and a 4. And 3. So they're going after this one. Okay. That one has, and I know I did all this. Okay. So when I was writing all this stuff up, I have shield points and hull points and everything else. So that way we'd be a little bit more set with these guys because they're going to be more common characters. They're going to have, let's see, 4 dice to roll. And they definitely got a 10. There's a 10 just by itself. And then they got an 18. So number 1, or our number 1 here hits our fighter. And they're doing 2D, 5D damage. Alright. So at this point, this, the copper one, the more squared off one, with the numbers, that's going to be my wild die. And that is a 3. So we got 6. There's 18. 22. These being the kind of an earlier advanced TIE fighter, they do have shields, which I really have not been taking off those, but their shields were really nothing. Actually, no, they didn't have shields, so I didn't have to worry about those. Let's see. So I take 7 points away from any hit that happens here. So that's 18 points. They have a hull of 31. So 31. Let's see. That would take me down to 13. So even for our TIE fighters with shields and that can, 5D damage can whittle you away real quick. Alright, this one's shooting at 4 at this one. Alright, 4 dice. Oh, and he tagged them. So we got a 10 there. Oops. That was a 2. And then we got a 3 right there, so that's a 15, so he tagged them. Alright. Good news is, not for as good. Because we do get this, here, 6 points. 3 minus the 7, so it's only 6 points. So, 25 is left. Alright. And then we have one more. That's our gray one here, and he's shooting at number 1. So, let's see. Alright, well, if I'm rolling this, that's our wild die, so I got a 5 there. Holy shishkis. Yeah, he hit him. And then we got 5, 10, 18, 21 points. Our A-wings, I've got to reprint these, so I only have them 1 per sheet here. Alright. So our shields have 5 shield points, so I can really get the -1 of those. That's still 8. 16 points of damage. Our A-wings have a hull of 30. So 30, 30. And we had 13 points there. 13? 8. 16. Alright. 14. Mine's running slow. We're early in the morning here. Well, not that early. I mean, it's one of those things of... I was up a little later than I should have been. I wanted to grab maybe a couple minutes of playing Starfield because it just came out. I think I've got almost 4 hours in on it. Alright. So, now we have our pilots. Because they haven't had a chance to go. So, we're just going to go, he's going to shoot at this one. I think that's maybe what we'll do. We'll do these 2 against him, these 2 against our tan here. Okay? Team up, get them going. Alright. TIE pilot has gunnery of 5. That's our wild die here. We got a 4 in our wild. There's 5, 10, 16. We hit. 5D for damage. So that's our wild die. Oh, this could be really bad for that one. Alright. So we have 10, 24, which is actually enough to take it out, I believe. Yeah, because they started off with 24. So this one's gone. Next one, because if we're seeing that they're attacking that fast, well, we get to adjust. So he's going to attack that one. That is a beautiful thing of how the game works. We have a 5 there. There's 10, 16. We definitely hit. Alright, 3 in our wild. There's 5, 10, 15 damage. So our gray one has 9 points left. First A-Wing, they have, let's see, nope, wrong one. Trying to, the problem is when I printed this off, I have the TIE Advance clamshell, which is what I termed it, so that way I knew I had the right one. Alright, 4D plus 2, so one less. And then I have the A-Wing right underneath it, and the top of the A-Wing is printed off on one sheet, and the rest is on another. So, alright. So, we get a 5 on our wild. There's 9. I've been saying 10-ish. Alright, so we hit. 5D damage. Ooh. Alright, so we got a 2 there. There's 12. That's 22. So the one that has not been hit is down to 2 points. Let's see. Uh-oh. We gotta take that one away. And our other guy misses. Alright. So as we start the next round, that would be me and Mandrell. Mandrell, he's got 4D to hit. 6, 12. Well, you definitely got that 10 or better. Alright. 5D damage. And our tan one is gone. He only had 2 points left. There's only one here. It's the one that Marshall will be shooting at. She's got 5D for dice. There's a 10, 16 wild die. That subtracts that, but I still hit with an 11. Alright. Wild die. Getting me again. I think it's that character. Alright. I got 7, so that means that ship's only got 2 points left. Alright. I think my character's cursed. Alright. Probably why she keeps almost dying every time. Alright, well, we'll start off with our TIE fighters. They have gunnery of 5D. Alright, so we got a 5 here. 10, 15, 21. Yeah, he most definitely tagged him. We have 5D for damage, and obviously even with, nope, that's a 2 on our wild die. There's our 8. We only had 2. So combat is done again. Alright. So we get everybody up. We radio back over. They're doing fine, just that they got jumped again. Like I said, it's my problem child here. Alright. So, we do our astrogation here. 5D. 3 on our wild die. Boy, I don't think we're making it very well. Alright, so there's 7, there's 10, 12, there's our 10 that we needed. Alright, and you have a 2, and you get a 2. Alright, so we make it to our last spot. We have one last jump before we make it to the planet we're trying to get to. I never set a name for the planet, I just kind of left it up in the air a little bit. Alright, 5 dice. We definitely get there. We have a 4 on the wild die. There's an 8. That's over 10, so we're good. Oh boy. Oh, you got a 3. Alright. And you get a 4. So we make it to the planet. So with all this fun and adventure going on, we make it to the planet. You know, we're looking at oddly enough, we're going on 50 minutes. So we're just going to kind of cut it here. We're going to land down on the planet. Everybody's going to go from there. I really have not been telling anyone how many points I've been giving. So, you know, when I first started doing this, I gave us a lot more points, and we were having like super characters and stuff like that. But when you're doing a game like this, as a seasoned person, or if really, let's just say it in this regards, for the group that I usually play with, I can give out maybe 5 if they've done a really good job and they've kind of stayed in character. You might give them a little extra, maybe even up to 10 points. If you actually read the book, it does say that you should only level up skills maybe 1 pip. So if you had a 5D for your gunnery, you should only go up to like 5D plus 1 or so on and so forth, so you don't have these big jumps. I don't really adhere to that part of it, but what I do is I'll give off like maybe 5 or 10 experience points, and that way I know that they can't overnight make a character a super character. But on the other hand, when we first started playing this, thinking of it more like video games and stuff like that, giving out the extra points, we were using the points to actually upgrade our ships. So really our ships became a part of our character. And my best friend will never live down the fact that he had poured so many points into a TIE fighter, or it was a TIE Advanced, or not a TIE Advanced. It was a TIE Interceptor, but he had added on a hyperdrive and beefed up the guns, and we were doing silly things, and you know, all that. It all depends on how you play. I've been giving my characters about 5 points in between. Now, this last time I gave them 20 because I feared, you know, months have gone by, they have been imprisoned and everything else. I'd give them a little extra to kind of beef them up a little bit because they do almost seem like they're dying off all the time. And to say that, you know, we have months gone by, possibly half of a year. You know, I never said how many months have gone by. This way, I feel that I gave a little bit more accountability as to a passage of time. So, with that being said, I'm going to give my characters about 5 points here today, so they can get leveled up. And if anyone ever wants to freeze and see what my characters look like, okay, so this is Marsha. So what I did is, this is a brash pilot. I did not give her. Oh, actually, okay, because I was trying to make sure I didn't. They do have a New Republic pilot, and I was thinking maybe I'd give her that one. The New Republic pilot actually starts off with an X-Wing. She's a brash pilot. Currently, like credits, as you can see, I have like, what, 941 or something like that here, instead of being 1,000. I did give them some armor, so that way hopefully they don't die as fast. And of course, we've been in the ship the entire time. And I'll add 20 points to her. And then this is Mandrell. Now, I'm taking a Force adept here, not for the picture, because obviously Mandrell is a Mon Calamari, but just as a character here, and we're just kind of going over there. I do have my control, sense, and alter. I've leveled them all up to 2. Without a teacher, You know, if you're trying to learn all that stuff, it costs twice the amount. But still, when you're at a low level, it's not overly bad. Because, okay, so instead of being 3 points to get it up to a 2, it cost me 6 points each to get them up to a 2. So when I did the 20, I could bring them all up to a 2. He's not a big Jedi, and if you notice, because I've been using him as a Force Mystic, really it's more like healing arts. I figured long term I'm going to do something akin to like a Dungeons and Dragons, like a Force Bolt or something like that, or you know, Star Wars does have like Force Lightning, so it's not too far out of the realm of something that would be Star Wars-ish, but yet a little bit of like a D&D mystic kind of thing. And some people may not like having a little bit of a fantasy in under Star Wars or whatever, but on the other hand, when you look at the Witches of Dathomir, you know, they'll raise the dead and they'll do other more mystical things that we would think of like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So I'm doing real light on the mystic part, more of a regular Star Wars. I'm not trying to get heavy on Jedis and all that. I want to acknowledge they're out there. There are Sith out here, but not something that we're typically going to run into every day. So if you're wondering what my characters look like, this is what they look like. If I have 5 points each, and it looks like Mandrell has 1 character point left over, so that gives him 6 points. I don't know, I might, seeing that he's going to be sitting in a turret, I might take his Starship Gunnery. I could level him up to a 40 plus 1, and that would give me 2 points left over. So, actually, why don't I do that? Hopefully I got a good eraser. Well, I don't need to erase anything. Plus 1. Alright. And then, this is where I need the eraser. I'm thinking ahead. 2 character points. Alright. And then Marsha, as I move things out of the way, with 5 points, if she's going to be doing more gunnery stuff, yeah, I might make that the Starship Gunnery a 5D plus 1. Just for that extra edge, trying to shoot down what I'm trying to shoot down. And then she doesn't have any points left over. And of course she's back up to 28 hit points. So, alright, so now our characters are leveled up for our next session. And we will start working on our next session here. And this is kind of the direction that we're going to go. So whether we're going to have some extra cargo stuff in there or whatever else. And I know that my best friend, playing with him, we've done freighters where, you know, you have your pilot and then having a co-pilot here. You got to see me. My pilot only had a 4, but with my co-pilot helping out, that added an extra die. Doing a little bit more than just straight combat, but combat seems to keep happening. I left it as a very low chance, as well as rolling. If they hit a 1, then we'd probably end up with it. Figuring that we could maybe spend some time doing other stuff, but seeing that we're getting on to an hour, if you don't mind it being a little bit longer, let me know in the comments, and we can go longer. When I get together with the guys, you know, we'll spend like 4 hours together, and you know, the other half of that is we also do a little BSing. So, you know, when you're kind of shooting a breeze and catching up on other things and all that, and just telling some jokes, and of course everybody today shares memes and some of the funny things that we didn't share with each other along the way. But you know, that's just the whole experience of it all. Being together with somebody else and getting around the table. To me, I look at this so much as like my parents and my grandparents, they used to get together and do cards. This is just like getting together and doing cards, except we're doing it with dice and pen and paper. So, With that being said, thank you so very much for visiting today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and keep bricking.